right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joe Hatagwa from Authentic African Media Group. I am a Pan-Africanist and American-born Sierra Leonean living in West Africa. And if you want to know about the major life updates that has happened over the last week, then this is the video for you. If I can get to it. And we are off. All right. We are live. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Twitter. We're live everywhere. We are live. And we also have a light, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you noticed that, but that light just went on as soon as we've gone live. So we're back. The light might come and go, but here we are here. So the first thing we want to do is, can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, I want you to give me a thumbs up so I know you can hear me. And also let me know where you're watching from. And also let me know if you were on any one of the previous lives earlier today. Because I've gone live twice already today. This is the third live. So were you on any one of the previous lives today? And if you were, let me know. I want to hear from you guys. Were you guys on the earlier live? Yeah, let me know if you guys were on the earlier live, because I've gone live a couple times today. Been talking a lot, but we're back. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, I need to know if you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. I see people there, but I don't know if you guys can hear me. And if you're watching on Instagram, if you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on Twitch, let me know if you guys can hear me so I can proceed. Yeah. Okay, Miss P can hear me from South Jersey. Nice. Who else do we have? Who do we have here? Dynamic Deborah, Denver, Colorado. This is the first live I received the notification of. Did not receive earlier lives. Okay, cool. At least you got this one. Anne-Marie says you can hear me. Big Sultan says you can hear me. Nima says you can hear me from Detroit. What up, though? That's a Detroit thing. For those of you who know, you know. Not Adams Ribs says from Ontario, Canada. JR in Motion says first time. Mr. Shegsy is Nigerian living in England. We got Myra from New Orleans. Okay, I knew you were my pet. Some of these Instagram names are great. I knew you were my pet is watching from Germany. Elena Fabiano is watching from Italy. Eden Grisby is watching from Atlanta, Jersey. Lord James watching from Jersey as well. Wait, did I say Atlanta, Jersey? Atlanta, Georgia is what Eden Grisby is watching from. And Lord James is watching from Jersey. I've been doing a lot of talking today and a lot of stuff, period. It's been a wild day. Conversation for another time on the personal front. There's a major life update. We got Harrisburg, PA, Big Sultan. Big Sultan. Is this somebody I know? Because I went to boarding school near Hershey, Pennsylvania. Near Harrisburg, in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So, do you know me from Hershey days? Wendy Smith says, first time on the show, watching from Barbados. Nice. What's up, Wendy? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Dynamic Deborah says, correction, this is the first live notification I received today. I have three of your, okay, you've been to three of my lives before. Nice. All right. Amiri Obi, Gambian in Minnesota. All right, nice. All right, cool. So today, we got a lot to talk about. But before we do get into that, let's do some introductions. Make sure you guys know who I am, right? Like, who exactly are you watching on this screen today? It's Alves says you can hear me. Phoenix Indigo said sound is good. Anne-Marie Harding says I can hear you, watching from London. Nice. All right, those of you who are watching on YouTube, appreciate it. And those of you guys watching from any on any of the platforms from anywhere around the world, I truly appreciate you guys joining and watching along. It's been a long journey for me on this content creation journey. And any of you out there who've ever attempted to create content and to basically do your best to be consistent, it is very difficult. And I must say, we are now creeping up on almost exactly 3 years since the first time I've gone live on YouTube. And I've only ever missed 2 lives. I think I've gone live. I mean, at this point, I don't know what 52, 252, that's 104 plus 52, that's 156. So I've gone live at least 156 times and a couple times outside of the normal, regular live weekly calls. So again, I got to do some introductions, right? So my name is Joe Hautagwa. I am a Sierra Leonean, American-born Sierra Leonean who repatriated from the United States to West Africa in 2020. I am, throughout this year and moving forward, going to be spending a lot of time traveling back and forth between the West and West Africa and around West Africa. I am the CEO of Authentic African, which is a platform that focuses on Pan-African breaking news, Pan-African activism, culture, and history. And then as a consultant, for those of you who are interested in Pan-Africanism, moving to the continent, visiting the continent, investing in the continent, buying real estate, and even just travel, I can consult with you on all of the above. I've been to a couple countries on the continent so far, and I have access to travel groups that can help you plan your trip to the continent. I myself have invested in companies in the States, but I also am an advisor to companies here and have invested in real estate here as well. So my experience leads me to the ability to be able to help you in that realm and in that sphere if you so need it. So that's a little bit about me, so you know who I am and what I'm up to and what I'm about. Let me see if there's any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns from the group. Let me just check that real quick. So I knew you were my pet, says curious about the update. Nice. Pro Sound Studios in Harrisburg. Okay. Roxanne Lala. First time from Charlotte, North Carolina. Nice. I knew you were my pet, said let me get on YouTube too. Nice. Appreciate that. All right, cool. So what's the update? The major update is this. I am going live 3 times a week at least starting this week, and they may all be on Mondays. So you guys will get a chance to catch the follow-ups. But this is huge for me, and I'm excited about it because it is basically the manifestation of goals that I had set forth in 2023. You guys might know this about me, but I made a lot of pronouncements on the lives over the last 12 months, where I want to go, what I want to do, what I want to launch. And there were a lot of challenges getting these things off the ground, right? Living on the continent of Africa makes things difficult. I started new partnerships. The platform has grown tremendously. But my goal for 2023 was I wanted to secure myself at least 2 major partnerships that will help me get my message out and messages out to a broader community outside of the platform that I run, but also for me to work on having different kinds of conversations with different people and growing in that way. And so in the last month or so, I've been having serious discussions about how do I partner with other people. And so we're going to talk about some of those partnerships and, kind of what that means and what it looks like. And then you guys can just ask me any questions you might have. I was planning to do another live today about something else, but because Today's been extremely difficult earlier in the day, just because of some things that are happening personally in life. In particular, just having to plan travel and things like that. Today, it just made sense for me to just talk about some of the exciting things that are going on for you all and for me. I think we're all going to benefit from this in general, right? So I'm looking forward to being able to share what's going on. So as you can see by the slide in front of you, there are obviously some logos there, which signify some partnerships. And so I'm going to walk you guys through what some of those partnerships look like from a high level and what it means to for you guys. So first things first, Chris P. Bacon says you subscribe. Nice. Thank you for subscribing. And you're watching from the Netherlands. Nice. Chris P. Appreciate that. All right. So as you can see from the slide, you see two logos that you may or may not recognize depending on the overlap of my audience and their audiences. So up right is Africa Stream. Bottom left is Sierra Leoneans Killing It. These are two partnerships that are in, they're not commercial agreements, commercial arrangements. They're just a way to cross-pollinate and work together to spread the messages about Pan-Africanism and then also Sierra Leone in general. So I'm going to take you through each one individually. So the first partnership that I want to talk about, which was solidified first, even though the live that I'll be doing with them is later than the other one. This is with African Stream. And particularly in general, most of the time it's going to be with Inem Richardson, who is the daughter of Nigerian diaspora, repatriated from the US to Burkina Faso. She's the co-founder of the Thomas Sankara Center, and that's online as Burkina Books. Thomas Sankara, not Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara was a very prominent Pan-Africanist who was overthrown and subsequently experienced loss of life before he was able to fully realize his vision. And that's because actors in the West did not want to see him come through. She also is a member of the All African People's Revolutionary Party. So she is very active and very, very knowledgeable. And she's one of the journalists for African Stream. And so, what is African Stream? African Stream is a Pan-African digital media organization focused on giving a voice to all Africans through cutting-edge African-centered content. So I have the privilege of being able to go live weekly with Inem, or if she's unavailable, someone else from the African Stream team, but it will likely be Inem mostly. And I'm looking forward to kind of having more of these discussions because we had a great call today and we'll talk about it in a second. But I'm really looking forward to having more of these discussions around things that are happening in the news around the continent of Africa and having just a conversation about it. I think we share a lot of the same ideals. And so it's always good to be able to have these kinds of conversations, but now I'm going to be having them in a public forum. These are conversations I normally have sitting around a table with friends when we're out and they're drinking and we're just talking. Conversations I was having in Ghana a lot, conversations I've been having in Sierra Leone a ton, and conversations I was developing in the United States as well, as I was bringing a lot of information that I was learning to people that I knew in the States. So I've been talking all day, so my voice has been suffering. So apologies if you hear me like clearing my throat or working to try to get my voice back. So that is what I'll say now for the partnership and going live. So this will be I'll get to that in a second. So the second partnership is with Admire from Sierra Leoneans Killing It. So Admire is not only a Houston hair braider and educator, a Houston-based. She's a licensed painless braider, which is important. I used to get my hair braided and it was painful. She does cornrows and box braids. But outside of what she does as someone who paints and someone who caters, She also is the founder of Sierra Leoneans Killing It Worldwide. And what she does with the platform is highlight Sierra Leoneans who are killing it positively in our community and in around the world. And so the goal is for her to highlight Sierra Leoneans. I had the pleasure of being interviewed by Admire in 2020, the first year of the global sickness. And then during that conversation, I got a chance to kind of hear a little bit about what she's doing. And I started paying more attention to the page. And then fast forward to 4 years later, the page has grown. The impact has been wide within the Sierra Leonean community. And I'm really excited to be able to share my story, my thoughts, and news stories with this group and conversations that we need to have as a Sierra Leonean diaspora and people who are living here on the continent. So I'm really excited to be having these conversations with Admire as well. So Enam Richardson and the African Stream team and everything pertaining to Africa as a whole and the diaspora, news stories from around the continent, and then also with Admire and Sierra Leoneans Killing It on topics that are beneficial to talk about to the larger African diaspora, but specific to Sierra Leone. Before I move on, let me make sure I'm capturing any questions, comments, thoughts from the audience. Any questions, thoughts so far? How many of you guys watched the live, or any one of the two lives earlier? Can you guys tell me which one you watched and what you thought of it? Let's start with that. Let's start there. Leone's the source says, follow me. I teach about Rwanda. Okay. You guys have the chance to follow them after this live is over. What else do we got? Got some thumbs up from folks. It's great. Good. So you guys have your thoughts. All right. And trust me, in about 2 weeks, I got another major live update. But I'll give you guys a little bit more of it later. But this is a teaser. All right. So as I started to mention a little earlier, I'm going live with these two individuals. On the left, you have Sierra Leoneans Killing It, where I'll be going live with them. Wait, is the timing correct? Yeah, the timing is right. 5 p.m. GMT, 1 p.m. EST, 10 a.m. Pacific, if I did the math correctly. And we'll be talking about issues affecting Sierra Leone and the diaspora. Today, we talked about the mass burial of 32 Kush victims. And Kush is not the Kush that we talk about in American cannabis. It is a synthetic drug with tramadol and fentanyl in it here in Sierra Leone. Having many people experience loss of life here in Sierra Leone. So really bad, really negatively impacting our people here. So we talk about that. And then earlier in the day, I had the live with African Stream, where we talked about the fact that the U.S. military was kicked out of Niger and why. And then we talked about other stories of the day from around the continent. And so I'm excited to start telling these stories and having these conversations. And then separately having this live. This live will continue as far as I know it for right now, at the very least. It will continue in its current iteration. But now I no longer have to do African news stories on my live. So I can interview people. I can do different topics. I can talk about my week and how my week has been living on the continent, or, you know, all the things that I'm doing when I'm traveling back and forth and with African brands and companies and all that kind of stuff. So there's the ability to kind of be able to expand outside of doing news when I go live at 9 p.m. GMT. So I'm really looking forward to that. Man, I'm gonna need some water in a second. So this live stream is not gonna be that long. Unless you guys don't mind me just getting up, walking to the kitchen and coming. Actually, there's some water right there. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm actually just gonna go grab that water really quickly. And we're back. That was quick, right? You know what that reminds me of? I don't know if you guys remember the State of the Union always has a response. And there was one year where Marco Rubio was responding to Barack Obama's State of the Union, and he's like reaching off camera, and then he had this weird way of sipping his water. I don't know. I just had a flashback to that moment just now. Just by the way. But anyway, I needed that water because, man, I've been talking all day. So any thoughts, questions, comments? Were you guys on the live earlier? Let me know. Those of you watching on YouTube, did you join any of the earlier lives? Those of you guys watching on Instagram, did you guys join any of those? And what did you think of them? So Dynamic Deborah said, I did not see the live earlier because I was not notified. Deborah from Denver, Colorado. Unfortunately, she was not notified, which is a common story. Leon's Gasor says, I support other Africans. We need to share and Africa must unite. Yes, absolutely. I'm with you 100%. So yeah, I think, I think I agree with that 100%. So that's basically the major update. I don't know if you guys have any specific questions for me. I wanted to just share that with you guys. And I'll have time to kind of put together longer lives with more detailed things, conversations that should be had. Those will be happening at 9 p.m. GMT. And then I'll always be doing these other 2 lives. And at least that's the plan. For right now, we're in agreement to go live ideally once a week. So expect to see that. And the promotion for that will be out earlier. Announcements will be made. And, separately, maybe I'll do an interview with either one of them about their lives, because both of their lives are interesting. And Meyer being someone from Sierra Leone who moved to the States earlier in life, and then with Inem moving from the States to Burkina Faso, and that cultural exchange and what that means. I'd love to try to, at some point in time, interview either one of them on their experiences, because I think that'll be huge. And I think what I want to start doing more of is doing interviews with people for this particular live. So sometimes I'll go live and talk about my life and what's going on. I want to interview Sierra Leonean and African business owners. So that's my goal, is to spend more time doing that. All right. I've gone live a ton. I have a very urgent personal family matter that I have to attend to. But I didn't want to go another Monday without going live at our normal 9 p.m. time. So I want to thank you guys all for joining. I don't see too many questions or comments or thoughts about everything that we've talked about today, but we got a lot of good feedback from those of you who joined these lives. So I want to thank you guys for following and for joining. And with that, I think we're just going to call it a night. I want to say thank you guys for joining. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Didn't even eat lunch. So I need to, get some sustenance, eat. So I am going to leave you guys here. I look forward to seeing you guys all soon. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.